blessing. The award for academic progress in year 3 goes to Usher. Year 4. For the award for academic attainment goes to Megan. Academic progress in year 4 goes to Isa. Year 5, the award for academic attainment in year 5 goes to Kumara. The award for academic progress in year 5 goes to Anisha. Okay, I'm going to come up to the year 6 awards. Okay, so when I call your name out, just say it. Okay? Right, so. The award for writing in year 6 goes to Ishani.
And I remember back in year 5 when we first started writing our short stories, the level of detail that Shawnee had in her plans, in her early drafts, and there almost seemed to be as many plot lines as there were characters. You have 3 pages and you'd only get right into the introduction, so she always had such a grand vision for her writing, and even though we had to trim down some of those stories, I really hope that you continue to have that grand vision throughout the rest of the year.
The award for reading in year 6 goes to Amelia.
When we were doing 11 plus prep, one of the main question types is questions about authorial choice when reading. And it was a type of question that's really tricky for pretty much all the class, except for Amelia, who, when I would come to her questions, I always find it very hard to give her feedback because I'd end up writing her answer into my answer key for the future. The only feedback you can give is, thanks for the answer. Thank you.
The award for mathematics in year 6 goes to Prisha.
And Priscia's got a really keen eye for maths, and I'll show you a little story of how I know that I taught a lesson about ordered pairs and shapes on a coordinate plane. And it was an open-ended task of very investigation. I did it before. I thought I knew what I was delivering until I saw Priscia's work. She had written it out in a beautiful mathematical way instead of my sentences and all this stuff. And there are times, very rare this year, where I realized that the student's work has trumped my own. And I'm proud to admit that this was one of those times.
The award for science in year 6 goes to Musa.
I remember last year when we went to the Royal Aeronautical Society and we learned about flight and motion and all these systems of lift. And we had a lot of practical activities in making paper airplanes. And Musa was always leading the way in terms of, okay, this is what you do. All right, first you have to float this. This is going to get the best flight, trust me. And he was leading the way the whole time. And I can't think of anyone more deserving for a sense of work than Musa.
The award for history in year 6 goes to Neil.
We have a bit of an inside joke in our class with Neil and his time machine. And I'll tell you how we got there is that we were talking about primary and secondary sources, which is a pretty tricky concept to grasp of, when something's happened and when do you consider it primary or secondary. And I was asking them really tricky questions just to see how far they've understood. And then Neil starts asking me even trickier questions. But Mr. Smith, if you took a time machine and you went back in time and you took a relic and you brought it in the future, is that now? And I started getting so exasperated. I said, well, Neil, why don't you create a time machine and you can tell me? And ever since then, someone in every lesson or in a while, someone will be like, oh, don't worry, Mr. Smith, that problem will be solved. Neil's got his time machine. Those are the best kinds of lessons when you get questions asked for you. So, thank you.
The award for Lambda in Year 6 goes to Timmy.
And Timmy is such an expressive person. He's a natural performer. And I think we all saw a little bit of that when we saw the Peter Pan production. He loves playing characters and doing read-alouds, but it's not just the acting that he enjoys. He loves singing, and he'll usually join into a song if someone is singing nearby. And if you were to see him on break, you might even catch him doing a quick little dance, as he often does. So he's a triple threat, and you know, he can go places. I'd love to see you in the West End someday.
The award for RE in Year 6 goes to Vanessa.
One of the main things in RE is acknowledging the interpretive side of religion. And open-ended questions can't always be answered in a very strict way. And Vanessa really encapsulated this one day when we were talking about creation stories. And her whole group had decided in categorizing a creation story that was this one thing. But Vanessa, on the other hand, was like, but what about this? And what about this? And everyone's pleading with Vanessa, please, please, we just want to go. And she wouldn't let up for the rest of the lesson because she knew that it couldn't just be one answer. And I really think that is a microcosm of religious education. So well done, Vanessa.
The award for PSHE in Year 6 goes to Lichita.
And Lichita, I just had to mention this. She has a hilarious deadpan that just cracks me up every once in a while. She'll just hit you with one of these, and it just almost brings me to tears. But more than that, though, she's a really caring person who's always looking out for her friends. She always looks for the good in anyone, and you can always rely on her to listen and to help you out. And those qualities really shone through in our PSHE lessons. So thank you, Lichita. Well done.
The award for art in Year 6 goes to Saki.
And Suki's always relished the opportunity to do art. She's just teeming with passion for it. If you had a quick look in her tray, see all the little pieces of paper with beautiful little designs on it, and the big book about how to draw cute characters. So every opportunity she would take it. I often remember her on a Friday morning asking in the morning, well, what are we doing in art? Well, that's not for another 3 hours. We're already thinking about art. And she's got such a clean personal style already with colored pencils with the pen outline. It just looks so nice. And there really weren't as many students who enjoyed that pursuit as much as she did.
And the award for physical education in Year 6 goes to Owen.
And we've got a lot of competitors in our year group. And we've got a lot of talented athletes. We've got a lot of tactical thinkers as well. But Owen is a magical combination of all three. And you would see that most often in our PE sessions. You'd often catch him leading his team, telling the younger ones where to be, whether it was netball or hockey or football or whatever. He's always got a plan to maximize his success. And combined with his limitless energy, he's a natural